one of the things that Richard talks about when in the process when we're encouraging people to do some research, engage in research. And when we say research, it's kind of research with a small r, right? It's not like university level research. It's just, I need to find some stuff out to help me answer my question. But one of the things that Richard talks about, and his word for it is the underground. Yeah, so Richard has a model called knowledge mapping, where it encourages people to do their research in kind of three areas. One is what he calls the ground, which is what is there around me right now, that I can easily put my hands on, or is part of my business as usual, or is part of the people that I already know and talk about. That how can that ground help me answer my question? The other one Rich mentioned earlier, which is the sky. So that the sky sphere is really the kind of knowledge that is up there and out there. And the up there and out there could be academic research, for example. So researchers with a big R, that have done some research on the topic, and it's up there and out there. It's written, it's published, or that somebody, you might know somebody is working on it, or it's available in a different organisation. Up there and out there in the sky. So we encourage people to look up there and out there. But the area that people don't talk about as much, honestly, and also probably we don't encourage people enough to research, is what we call the underground. And we've mentioned things like power dynamics, right? So power dynamics on the underground, those sort of intangible things that that will affect our progress. They'll affect the way that we might go about answering our question. Those intangible things, like power dynamics, like the culture of an organisation, for example, that can be both enabling and disabling at the same time. Or it might be relationships, your relationships with your boss, or your relationships with your peers, your relationships with your colleagues or your co-students. Those things are super, super important and affect us, and they affect the actions that we might choose to take. They affect the way that we communicate. They affect the way we think, in terms of perhaps what's allowed, what's not allowed, what we're enabled to do, what we're not enabled to do. And this underground stuff is so, so important.